Syria. I was smuggled in because I'm a member of the opposition. I went into the newly formed, at that time, Atmay refugee camp in northern Syria. And there, we met a group of children, and one of them picked me. She picked me. She came over and took me by the hand. 8 years old, a little girl named Nadim. She walked me through the camp. I was with the LCC. We were there as a formal delegation, and this scruffy little 8-year-old came and led me by the hand, showing me the communal kitchen, where volunteers prepared 2 meals a day for 17,000 residents. She led me on her tour, and she showed me the area where there were 40 toilets for 17,000 residents. She told me that her conditions were far better in Atmay than they had been at home. She was fleeing. She felt some security in Atmay Camp. She told me that she would be happy to go back home after Ashghat al Nezam, or the fall of the regime. That was in 2012. I haven't been able to find out where she is now. I've not been able to keep track of her movements. And I can only hope that she is safe, she's not being trafficked, that she has not experienced rats, that she's not married to somebody 20 or 30 or 40 years older than she is for her own security. In the end, this little girl and many others like her have become my moral compass, and they are what push me to keep going in this revolution for freedom and dignity and democracy for all Syrians. As I look around the US and I see the Me Too movement taking on global proportions, right? Can we give a hand for the Me Too movement, please? I wonder, is Nadim, my moral compass, is she saying Me Too? Are thousands of others saying Me Too? Yes, we are. We have decades of dictatorship to undo as Syrian women. We have centuries of misogyny to overcome. Our sisters inside Syria are subjected daily to the brutality of the Assad regime. You've heard about the chemical weapons, you've heard about the barrel bombs. We're also subjected to the airstrikes by the Russian government. And we've all heard about testing munitions and other weapons against civilians. We've heard about hospital bombardments and school bombardments. We've heard about cluster bombs being used against Syrian civilians. But, as Kauda said, we're not victims. We're resilient. The women inside Syria are survivors who are committed to changing the social and political narratives in their own communities. As with our sisters around the world, and part of the Me Too movement and other women's movements, we must have equal representation in Syria, within the Syrian opposition. We must be free to pursue our careers without harassment, without sexual abuse, or other forms of violence against women. Syrian women, in particular, must be free to rebuild their country. We've got to do it. Syrian women have been fighting the Me Too fight, and others like that, for a long, long time. But last month, we took a very bold step. We created the first ever Syrian women's political movement. It's not a lobby, it's not an organization, and it's not, as many of our male counterparts in the opposition would say, it is not a social club. We are here to hold the Syrian opposition responsible for their commitment to have us represented at the level of 30% initially, with the goal of achieving full gender equality. This is not going to be an easy move. And I've got to give you a quote from somebody in the opposition, the male-dominated opposition. He said, of course we'll include women. Of course we'll include women in the negotiations and the peace talks. But will they have time to negotiate and cook dinner? So this is And this is one of the liberals. So it's a long road ahead. But I'm very proud to say, now they've announced the Riyadh 2 conference later this week in Saudi Arabia, and we have 12 representatives from our initiative going, and so this is up from 0. So I think the Syrian women's political movement also needs a little bit of development. And so I'm going to be brief because I know we have esteemed experts here ready to speak. I just want to leave you with the question of why do we continue to do this? Why do we continue to do this? Because it's me too, and it's you too, and it's all of us too. And together we can stand up and we can exercise our rights as opposed to demanding them. We exercise our rights and we end violence against women together. Thank you.